behind the main or beside the main, I guess. That's like the number one thing that you have to watch out for. That's really, really tricky to deal with. And like there's no I haven't seen a Zerg deal with it really well before, so we'll see if True's able to do it here if Gumiho chooses to tank drop. Second one is the third is really, really far away from the natural, so it's hard to defend as Zerg. And last but not least, we have a very, very good split map. So if Gumiho does want to mech, this would be the map to mech on.
Okay, and I'll give you a reason number 4, my friend. I hate pinging in game, but let's not forget you can unload on top of these things with Marines, tanks, Thors, and even build turrets up there.
Ooh, yep, yeah. Like we saw Dongrai Gu versus who was that really famous? MMA. DRG versus MMA. That was a really, really sick series, and I think MMA did that quite a bit.
I'm not surprised. MMA did that on Deadwing too before they nerfed it. But let's get into these intros, shall we, folks? Spawning here in the top left corner of the map in the semifinals, game number 3, the ace match. It's the Red Terran Gumiho.
In the bottom right, as the blue Zerg gets dead pixels true.
Yeah, all the reasons Kane just listed are completely valid. If you guys missed the very first series of cast today, had Supernova do that versus Impact. He had a tank down here. He put a bunker and even brought a missile turret through an SCV to repair that tank. Yeah. I mean, this is a map where you can certainly abuse it. If you can't do it in the main, if for some reason, I don't know, there's a spine crawler waiting for you or something ridiculous, you can do it to the natural the same way. So this is definitely a map where terrain comes into a big factor. And I mean, only really on Deadwing was this another alternative option. Sometimes we would see it on Overgrowth, but very rarely in comparison.
Oh, if only they brought back old Tal'Darim.
That could be fun.
Tank chops on the high ground near natural, that's balanced.
Well, there's some of the maps too. I remember when the Dream Pool was first announced, Jack Attack was covering a lot of things, and albeit it was through jokes and sarcasm, but there was that one map, I think it was Tal'Darim, maybe no, it was something else, where you could actually rally a swarm host from your natural to your opponent's main. Like, that's how short the rush distance
Wasn't it?
was.
I might be thinking of the wrong map name, actually. Tal'Darim is like the 4-player map. It used to have like an old, like, broken down, like, you have to break down rocks.
Yeah, I was thinking of a 2-player one, that's why I can't remember which one.
Oh, it's 2-player. Okay, so then, right. Different one then. I don't know. I really want, like, you know, all the maps are pretty bad. No one likes to Dream Pool now, anyways. I think everyone's getting tired of it.
Except
but,
for, hey guys, come on, Scion liked it a lot, alright?
Okay, except for casuals, alright? But, like, I really wish they brought back even older ones. Like, I want, like, Scrap Station.
It sounded like you just called Scion a casual.
Yeah, like a big casual, like the biggest community representative from Blizzard. Zombie Girl, please.
He's just some filthy casual.
Isn't he though? He's not a pro gamer. Like, isn't that like?
I guess technically, yeah. If you're not Korean and you're not a pro gamer, you are a filthy
then,
casual.
Yeah, then you're gonna enjoy the ladder where you don't have to like depend on it to win you money. Anyways, I wish the Scrap Station was back in it. I would have voted for that one. That's why I don't veto Zalnaga, by the way, because I voted for it, and I just like feel like I have to own up to it.
This is your fault.
So Drew keeps opting for this 15 pool opener, even on this map, which is a bit strange, but because this map isn't that great for Reapers, and we even saw Gumiho's Reaper go in the wrong direction at first.
Yeah, so I was wondering about this. I talked about it in the first game. I'm not sure. I've played probably about 30 games in the Dream Pool, and probably like less than a quarter of those have been on Shakuras. But from the ones we've cast and from the games I've played, I've only ever seen cross spawns. Is horizontal enabled on this?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't too sure on that. It's just, I guess, coincidence of luck. But he did go really heavy in the Reapers. And I guess, well, this isn't technically the best map on the Reapers getting into the natural. There's still that backdoor to the main that can never be excluded. So, you know, Gumiho sees with the Overlord that, you know, this Reaper went to the Watchtower, but he might think it's all over. Sorry, rather, True might think it's all over, but Gumiho's coming in the back door with 2 Reapers, 3 Reapers.
Does he have any lanes on the field? No. Okay,
no.
So he has speed, which would be so useful if he had lanes.
Oh, dear. True's going to pull the drones away from this, because, of course, 2 volleys is going to hurt a lot. Cancels that extractor.
He starts lair.
Yeah, that seems like an odd reaction. Oh no, we saw me take a gas. Get a lair.
Nice surround though here in the natural base, but it's still gonna cost him a couple of his drones. But this stops this from being out of hand and crazy.
Yeah, and he only killed 2 drones. That's worth it for 2 Reapers, but he did lose a lot of mining time, so I think Gumiho still came out ahead.
He loses mining time and is forced into a lair apparently.
Yeah.
And he saw the lair too, so.
Yeah, that's why it was so weird. Like, just, you know, you're gonna scout it anyways, I guess. I guess what other thing is weird is like you guys brought up these really great points. So Ashikura's is like not a good Zerg map, I suppose, or a good Terra map, either way. And like Gumiho doesn't do any of them. Like, not yet anyways. He could, I suppose, still go into tanks. But he went like 3cc. I was really expecting some sort of a pressure build that did take advantage of the map into a 3cc, into a split map like scenario. But instead he's going for like 3cc into bio.
Yeah, it's maybe it's just we've given him too much mech I guess credit.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been abusing it lately, but we all forgot. Like I think every Terran player started his bio. No one came into this game and
he
came
did.
back.
Yeah, he doesn't always like. It's not like he's not totally map dependent. I remember Gumiho went for bio on like Nimbus, which isn't a bad mech map. And that's like I guess there's like, is there really like a terrible mech map in the regular pool?
See, what I like about this, though, is, well, this almost works the same way for Zerg players who want to go Roach Hydra. I like that you can kind of get this perceived, I guess this perception of you that's like, okay, it's a mech player every time. And even someone like True probably thinks that because it's what Gumiho is best at. I mean, he beats players like Solar doing it. It's his shtick, but, you know, you go Bile and all of a sudden you've thrown a big cog into the... or a big wrench into the cog, and you don't know what to do with it properly. So this 2-base Muta opener is not bad for what Gumiho is doing, but it's definitely way more effective against someone who's coming at you with Hellbats and early tanks or something.
Yeah.
And it was that 3-gas Muta opener, which is really strange. I like it, but it's so strange. Like he's gotten his 4th gas just now, but for a long time, 3-gas.
Ken, I'm not gonna lie. I hope the next time I get to cast you, man, like IM qualifiers or something, I can do 3 gases.
I don't doubt it.
Gumiho gets 2 Vikings instead of 2 medevacs. Did he forget that he was going bio?
Maybe. I mean, this is something you would see more in response to not having any anti-air being mech, but it's not like it's a bad thing. If the Marines aren't dying to the Mutalisks, you know, the Vikings will live. They'll be able to land and help out a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying it's the best, but it's not like it's going to kill them.
No, it's not. It doesn't look like he was like preparing to push out anyways. I was more curious to see what he did with the factory, whether he got like Hellbats, Widow Mines, or tanks to abuse the ledges.
Oh, I don't like this by True. Stim Marines, yeah.
I think it would have been a much better, you know, it seemed like a good idea until Gumiho found that little like corner.
Well, hang on, let's take True's vision for a sec. Yeah, he has actually not seen anything in Gumiho's base prior to that move out. Like, he didn't even know about third, he didn't know about anything in the natural. It is actually very possible. I mean, he was not thinking that it was going to be bio. So,
Possibly,
that attack actually makes a lot more sense if you're expecting only Hellions and maybe a missile turret.
Oh, man, True's playing so sloppy right now. He's lost so many unnecessary Lings, so many unnecessary Mutas. Like, he's just playing very, very sloppy right now, I think.
Yeah, and it's going to be Widow Mines, so no abuse of this map. He's playing it like a regular map. Although, like, man, what if you put the Widow Mines up on the ledges? That'd be good.
Yeah, there's definitely some terrain you can abuse here, and I can't help but think, like, yeah, whether it's one Widow Mine up here on the high ground or whether it's near where your base is, there's a lot of scenarios here where the Zerglings aren't going to have the opportune engagement path.
Yeah, but there's actually pretty good creep spread, so it's not like he has to go through a lot of creep, and he's, I don't know, he's already been able to abuse that spot, that specific spot, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a little dangerous. It sure doesn't, well, it barely doesn't have Baneling speed. He can buy enough time for it.
Don't, without speed, though,
don't, please, no.
Well, Winnow's actually go off on the Mutalist, which might actually not be too bad. He does focus some of the Banelings down, but not splitting off a creep fast enough. Loses a lot of the Marines at the start of that attack. But the Vikings should be able to clean up the last Muta, unless, no. Okay,
Yeah,
see, why
there you go. But look at the worker count. Like, as long as he doesn't lose too many workers here, he's 13 workers ahead plus mules. That's crazy. That's a big economy.
Man, I really want to see him build turrets up here. It wouldn't be effective at all, but it'd just be cool to see. Like, you know, just tearing things.
You could build cannons. Like, I think I've seen a couple games.
Oh, he's gonna kill the Overlord with those
cannons up there.
Marines! Actually, a pylon on that high ground would be so sick, too.
No, what am I? No, what am I?
Yeah, I wouldn't like to shot, but yo, pylons up there would be sick. You warp on the low ground, you wouldn't have to worry about Lings catching it. You need Overlords to even see it, so the roaches couldn't touch it. Yeah, Chris is a cool map.
I've definitely seen cannons on there at least once or twice.
Look at supplies. Like, Gumiho's 50 supply head. That's pretty big for TPC.
It is, and it's bio too, so it's not even like this is ineffective supply or anything. I mean, this is something that's going to be, even if he takes the worst, Baneling Connects might be alright. He's going to find some Banelings here free range. The Zerglings are trying to chip down those rocks. There's no way they can really turn around and help.
Oh, he can actually abuse the ledges of just like the plain old like natural and main.
Does take out the Widow Mines, so now it's going to be a little more difficult to deal with the Zerglings, but as he just boosts past behind the mineral lines, he's going to be okay to deal with the Zerglings, but there's Baneling's morphing, and he should be, like, True should be able to hold here. It's going to be messy, but he's going to be able to hold.
And Gumiho might lose a lot of medevacs. He does boost out, but it's a long way from home. We're not in Kansas anymore.
No, but he snuck in a Widow Mine while this was going on. Didn't get the opportune shot I think he was hoping for, but the Overseer backs away from it rather than cleaning it up. Oh, he's going for the one in the main, that's why. So this Widow Mine might just get another reload off if True wasn't paying attention. There we go. Still 3 Marines stranded in the middle of the map. It looks like they're trying to attack, move into something. He's got them on the rally, but or the attack command, but yeah, this is just, again, that supply lead. Now, True's definitely helped make up the difference of this, but we'll see if it's going to work or not. There's still a couple of Widow Mines to go off. Bailey's clashing into the Marines. The Mutila's count is not out of control just yet. And he's effectively cut off reinforcements here to the 3rd.
Yeah, and this is where that thing that we were talking about, where the 3rd is so far away from the natural, that's where it comes in handy. But yeah, True cleaning up all of Gumiho's army here.
Yeah, Gumiho went for the focus fire instead of the spread at the top of that ramp. I don't know if that's the greatest idea. I mean, he almost got all the Banelings. Like, he was 1 second too shy, but True's actually going to drive this back. I really thought he was going to lose that 3rd in that attack.
Well, I thought he was going to lose the game. Being up 40 supply is like... I think with better control actually would be just like game ending. But now he's only up by like 20, only quote unquote, with better upgrades. Not really better tech yet. Like, did he even get a second factory?
Well, I mean, these upgrades should, I mean, let's be honest, these upgrades should win him the game. It's going to be 3-3 versus 1-1.
Probably. Yep. I do wish that he had second factory though, because like I think the biggest reason besides like not splitting, I guess, and just playing generally sloppy, is also he doesn't really have a lot of Widow Mines. He's like playing pure bio right now. Oh, he has 4, but like 2 of them are at home.
True needs to kill Gumiho within the next probably 2 minutes, or else these upgrades are just going to be insane for Gumiho.
I mean, even if he finishes those 2 too, which I don't even know if he would, it's still, I don't think it'd be that big of an influence. Because it's going to be at that point where Gumiho will have taken that 30 seconds of whatever upgrade discrepancy, got that big enough supply lead, and True will be down like 20 versus 80 supply or something.
I mean, True is sneaking in a 4th. He actually has a surprising bank.
Can he use it though? I mean, it's
just you.
He's not like he's got more overlords. Like that's something we haven't talked about. He's not able to supply cap out properly.
Yeah, and he is banking a lot of more minerals and gas. But you know, if Gumiho keeps playing as sloppy as he does, like and doesn't produce more Widow Mines, it's possible like True. Like it's more on Gumiho playing bad than like True, I guess, like having a miraculous comeback.
Does True not know he's like supply blocked 150 though? I mean, he's got the money for overlords.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, this is a big mistake, but I mean, he could free up some supply losing lings to these Marines, but
that would have been almost hit the wood, like freaking medevac.
They'll lose the hatchery here to the north, so that's a bit of supply gonna go down. So like one.
Okay, 4th, there we go. Overloads are on the way. He doesn't really have a whole lot of larvae. I guess he's never got a macro hatchery. Yeah, he's only at 9 larvae.
But I mean, that is such a big problem, because when you play Baneling style, you know, the point is overwhelming. You gotta use that supply to your advantage. You can't sit there capped on 150 and be content fighting against somebody like Gumiho. It's just, even on creep, you're never gonna have a good time.
True, there's no good place to take your 4th. Stop. Now, if you take it here, then the ledge can be abused. Most definitely, the bush can be abused also as well. If you take in the top right, it's very easily droppable, as Gumiho just did.
I do like that he's double expanding, though, because it's kind of like, okay, well, you're probably going to lose one, but then you fall back together.
Yeah, and he has so much money, again. Always back to that point. I don't think he canceled that.
Yeah. Okay, your thoughts at this point? I mean, like,
True has so many Banelings and Lings at his 3rd that he doesn't seem to be using. Maybe he mishockeyed them or something, but there's a lot of them just sticking around there. They could be waiting for drops, I guess.
A lot of drops?
Yeah,
drop?
Yeah.
One Marine at a time, sprinkled across the army.
I think Gumiho's realized that, like, factory production is good. He just put down 2 more factories. And if he has 4 Widow Mines and a Thor bobbing out with each wave, like, I think that's going to be, like, a perfect, unbeatable army.
Well, the Mutila's count is pretty abusive, but I don't think you can afford to use it for harass like you normally would. There's no way Gumiho comes back home to deal with that. He's going to keep pushing it. quite frankly, if True wants to stay in, he's going to need everything possible. The supply counts are fairly even, but those upgrades are going to be a big deal for Gumiho. 3-3 is going to help focus down these banelings really fast. Mutila's coming from the north side, going to pick off some of the Marines that are split apart, but here comes the banelings. Nothing from the south. Big drop going off in the main, and Gumiho is going to get swamped out here, but can he do enough damage before that army comes back towards the main?
Look at the guy's bank. Like,
he's typical mech player.
Sure.
seriously.
That was probably the best engagement True could have hoped for, though. Like, that was
Yeah.
pretty good, seeing the position that he was in. But, yeah, like you guys are saying, he just has too much economy, too much bank, too much upgrades. Everything is in Gumiho's favor right now.
Yeah.
It's weird to see Gumiho, by the way, with vehicle plating coming out. I think this is kind of a big
Right?
deal. It's going to make the medevacs, of course, live a little bit longer, but that's somewhat irrelevant. I think a lot of tier players kind of neglect medevacs anyways. But I like the idea that the Thors are going to be able to take hits. These Thors are not going to go down easily to much of anything, Zerglings or Mutalisks.
Yeah, I remember there was a big like debate, quote unquote, about like what was better back when we started using Widow Mines, so getting out of the swarm,
Yeah,
armor or
but then they
vehicle.
also but then they also combined all the upgrades too, which helped that argument a little bit.
That did help a little bit. It was like armor or weapons first, and it's still stylistic, I suppose. I think I see more weapons nowadays than armor, so it is surprising that Gumiho is going all the way up to 3 armor.
But I guess if you're going heavy on the Widow Mines, medevacs, like you don't have a lot of actual weapon damage benefit.
You don't, yeah, that's right. It's usually just for the Thors, honestly. But I personally like plating better, but you know, I'm scrub.
Well, you know, you're filthy casual, so whatever. By our definitions today.
Actually, it means that I like Gumiho, man. I'm on board with Gumiho's plans here.
Well, this is kind of a cool counterattack. I like this, but I mean, this is not the most devastating damage. Gumiho's already getting another command center up here to the south. SCVs could be lost, and it would just free up supply for Gumiho to make more bio.
Gumiho's just everywhere right now, man. Like, he's multitasking really well. A lot better than most mech players would be able to, I think. No offense.
No, but it's true. I mean, a lot of times it's a death ball for mech. It's not splitting drops like this. It's not responding to the main. So, while it's a funny comment, it's actually completely accurate. He's going to kill the Baneling Nest, though, and this, I feel, is almost the nail in the coffin for True. Without a Baneling Nest, there's just no way to deal with this bio. The Zerglings are down in upgrades. They're down in number. There's just no way to actually deal with this. Oh, man, he's just going to pick up. Yeah, kill the hatchery, get out of there. True now back to 1 base, essentially. Well, I guess this one didn't die. Almost did, though.
He might be 0 bases soon if he focuses. But,
just focus it. Just, like, you know, make it sad. Sad ending.
That's the best way to do it when you know that you're really far ahead. Just, like, kill them in the most embarrassing way possible.
Yeah.
Oops, did I accidentally max out on SCVs? Oopsies. But no, like, all jokes aside, Gumiho actually, so first, we talked about True playing sloppy. Gumiho played this really sloppy too. There's been so many bad splits, so many bad Baneling engagements for Gumiho, but I mean, this really definitely wasn't the epitome of gameplay for both players, but it's still a good game. It's still really back and forth. I enjoyed it. Gumiho will take the series and move on to the